Hello, it's a little dark today because it be rainy even though it still looks like the nuclear apocalypse is going on outside. Anyway, let's just get into it. Genesis 1:29. Sure, we always start off with the NIV. Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it, they will be yours for food. Now this comes from the idea, this sparks the idea that Adam and Eve only ate fruits and vegetables. Which a lot of people say all you early humans did. Some say no, it might have just been special for Adam and Eve. But to vegans and vegetarians who are Christians, that's fine. But do not use this. Do not use it to push other people into eating only fruits and vegetables. Because God does command the Levites eat some as a sacrifice, which is meat. So, while yes, you can have your fruits and veggies, that's perfectly fine. Don't be like other secular vegans and vegetarians who push their ideology on people and want all sorts of radicalness and can't stop talking about be the bear ones. Be Christian about it. That's all I'm gonna say. And if you are, good job. Yes. New Living Translation. Look! King James. And God said, Behold, I given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. Shall be for meat, huh? I guess that might just be the Hebrew word. Oh yes, Timothy. They will prohibit marriage and require abstinence from certain foods that God has created to receive with thanksgiving by those who believe and know the truth. Oh, that's a lot of cults right there. But if you don't want to get married, that's fine. And if you don't want to have certain foods, again, that's fine. Just don't force it on other Christians. Do not say if you eat meat, you're not going to be saved. Yes, because to Moses he says, You are also to take for yourself every kind of food that is eaten and gathered as food for yourself and for the animals. Or, everything that lives and moves will be food for you, just as I've given you the green plants. I now give you all things. Wait, if he said this to Noah, Noah's kind of like a revitalizing of humanity, can also kind of represent all the humanity because of the flood. Well, a lot of theological ways, some people say. That he gives them everything. Meaning, all you Hebrew originalists who want to go back to the laws of the Jews. What about Genesis 9:3, which is even older than Leviticus? It's an older command. Why not go back to the laws of Noah, which even the Jews will say, yeah, the Gentiles don't have to follow. the laws of the Old Testament. That like if they follow the laws of Noah, that's an actual. Anyway, but if you don't want to eat pork, that's fine. Just don't force it on other Christians. Got it? Okay. Okay. Yes. Um. Oh yeah, Job. For by them judges he the people he given is meat in abundance. A good news translation always is just like very to the point. I provided all kinds of grain and all kinds of fruit for you to eat. New Living Translation. Look, food, eat. So, undoubtedly, the first original assigned to man, food assigned to man was vegetable. So this is Eliot. Nor or was express leave given to eat fresh flesh until after the flood. Nevertheless, the dominion given to man over fish, bird, and animal, it made it lawful for him to use them as for his food, the skins of which Adam and Eve were clothed on their expulsion from paradise, provided that animals had proved that animals had been already killed. After the fall, Abel's sacrifice of the first lintings of his flock and of the fat therefore leads indestructibly to the conclusion that the flesh was eaten by the offerer and his family. In ancient times, this was the rule. Flesh was not a staple of man's diet, but the eating of it was a religious ceremony at which certain portions were offered to God and burnt on his altar, and the rest consumed by man as the deity's guest. So interesting. This is definitely not the view of Answers in Genesis and other roots people who say no, none, no meat was eaten before the events of the flood. So if you're like, this guy's crazy, this is actually a very more liberal idea. Yes. Whether man, pulpit, was a vegetarian prior to the fall is debated. On one hand, it is contended that the original grant does not formally exclude the animals, and in fact says nothing about man's relations to the animal. McDonald. Okay, he's saying some McDonald here. McDonald. McDonald's. Anyway, that we cannot positively affirm that man's dominion over the animals did not involve the use of them for food. Apparently, Murphy said that. And that as men offer sacrifices from their flocks, it is possible they ate flesh of the victims. Victims! Okay. On the other hand, it is argued that the divine language cannot be held as importing a Mran, that is rarely says that of 9:3 of Genesis distinctly teaches that man's right to the animals' creation dates from the time of Noah, Kalishich, Cannibal, Alfred, etc. Almost all nations have traditions of the golden age of innocence, when man abstained from killing animals. Okay, Ovid met 1, so chapter 1, pages 103 through 106, I guess. Scripture alone intercepts a time when such shall again be a characteristic of earth's inhabitants. And he uses Isaiah 7, verse 11, verse 7, which says, oh yeah, the cow will feed with the bear, their young will lie down together, and the lion will eat straw like an ox. And Isaiah 65, verse 22, oh yeah, the wolf and the lamb will feed together, and the lion will eat straw like an ox, the dust will be the serpent's food. They will neither harm nor destroy all my holy mount on my holy mountain, says the Lord. So, interesting. Yes. Anyway, God said, behold, okay, behold, lo, behold, to give, I have given, to give, put, set, you. That's what every, the whole, all, any, every, seed bearing, seed, fruit, plant, sowing time, prosperity, plant, herb, herbage, oops, on, above, on, upper, against, face, literally, the face, literally, most literal translation, of all, the whole, all, any, every, the earth, land, and untranslatable mark of an accusative, of the accusative clause. So, and the whole, every, the whole, all, every, trees, wood. Whose, who, which, what, that, when, where, how, because, in order that. No, I did not misspeak and say that in that order. No, that's literally one of the possible translations. Fruit, literally. Fruit. Contains, to sow, to dismemorate, plant, fizzy, seed, already. Will be, already did that one. Your food. There. So, go watch my other videos. Go watch Inspiring Philosophy. He's done stuff about Genesis. 7 days, or wait, no, 6 days to divide the world. 7 days to divide the world. One of those two. There's a book. I think it's by John Lennox. That's his name. Anyway.